Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to my channel. Lumps and bumps are a part of one's life. You have to live with them. But if you notice any lump on your body or someone you know, don't forget one proper medical query. You have gone from FSC to the EM. First is the history taking of lump or an ulcer. The history and examination of lump and ulcer is very comparable, so it is very easy if you just learn these questions and examination points together. First is history. You can remember the questions in the history taking of a lump by this mnemonic, which goes as don't forget one proper medical query, which stands for duration, first symptom, other symptom, progression, persistence, multiplicity, and cause. Duration. The duration of a lump is start to be considered when it is first noticed by the patient or someone he or she knows. You have to be precise about the date at which it was first noticed. Second thing is the first symptom. What brought it to patient's notice? It is often felt or seen by him or her or someone else or during a self-examination like in breast examination. Then are the other symptoms which could be associated with the lump. It could be due to pain, as in inflammatory conditions. It might not be painful like in malignancies. It could be disfiguring or it could interfere with the functions. Like if it is present in the neck, it can affect the swallowing or respiration. If it is present near any joint, it could interfere with the movement. It could also have some discharge from it. Then is the progression. Progression is actually any change in any of its features since first noticed. It could be in terms of size or its fluctuancy. Then is the persistence. In persistence, the lump may disappear on lying down or in exercise, that is, it is reduced. It could be partially reduced or completely reduced, or on the other hand, it could be irreducible. Then is the multiplicity. Has or had the patient any other lumps or ulcer? You must ask this question to find any correlation. Then is the cause. What does the patient think caused it? Sometimes only the patient knows the cause. That could be injury or any systemic illness. This was the part regarding the history taking of lump or an ulcer. We'll talk about the examination of a lump or an ulcer. The examination of a lump is divided into three parts. First is the local, second is the regional, and third is the systemic, that is general physical examination. In local exam, we look, feel, tap, and listen to the lump. That is, we inspect, palpate, percuss, and auscultate the lump. In inspection, you can remember the features you are going to notice with the mnemonic FSC to the emergency, that is 4SC2DE, that stands for site, size, shape, surface, color, depth, discharge, and edge. In terms of site, you will write the exact anatomical term. Second is the shape. Normally it might have three dimensions, but you can also use descriptive terms like dumbbell, pear-shaped, kidney-shaped. It could also be asymmetrical. Third is the size. You have to measure its dimensions with the help of an inch tape. Fourth is the surface. It may be smooth surface, shiny surface, thick or rough in surface. Fifth is the color. It may be discolored or inflamed. Sixth is the depth, especially in case of an ulcer. And the seventh is the discharge. It might or might not have any discharge from it. And then is the edge. For example, especially in case of ulcer, there could be rolled edges or everted edges, etc. In case of a lump, it could be clearly defined or indistinct. Then is the palpation part, that is, you actually are going to touch the swelling or lump for the first time. First, you have to ask about any tenderness. You have to watch the face for any discomfort, and if it is non tender, then you can actually start the examination. Second is the temperature. You have to feel the temperature with the dorsum of your fingers. If the swelling or lump is hot, it could be due to inflammation or it could be normal in temperature. Third is the composition part. To check the composition of the lump, you have to look for certain features. First is the consistency. You can just compare the consistency of the lump with other parts of the body with the use of terms such as stony hard, firm, rubbery, spongy, or soft. Stony hard as in bone, firm as in the tip of the nose, rubbery as a rubber ball, spongy as a sponge, and soft as you can say it is soft. Second is the fluctuation. Fluctuation is actually a 3 point test. You have to compress with one finger and you have to feel with the two fingers. If the fluctuation felt by the two fingers is equal, then this lump could be due to any cyst, but if it is solid, you might not be able to appreciate the equal fluctuation on both the fingers. Third is the translucency. In translucency, you actually pass a light through the swelling. If it is cystic, you are more likely to see a glow in the lump. Fourth is the reducibility. In reducibility, you are going to compress the lump, which is going to decrease the size of the lump, and then you will ask the patient to cough. Due to cough, the size of the lump is going to be again the same as before. It is specially present in case of hernia. Now you have to differentiate between reducibility and compressibility. In case of compressibility, you can decrease the size of the lump by compressing with your fingers, but it will not be regaining its size on cuff. It will actually regain its size itself once you remove your fingers from that place. It is present especially in vascular and fluid type of lumps. Then is the pulsatility. Pulsatility could be either transmissible pulse or expansile type of pulse. In transmissible type of pulse, there is pulsation due to a nearby artery. In this case, you will notice an upward movement felt by the bed of your fingers. But in case of an expansile pulsation, you will notice outward and upward movement felt by the bed of your fingers. Then is the percussion part. You have to tap the swelling to check the resonance. The percussion is very much appreciated in case of abdominal lumps. First is the resonance. You can compare the gas versus solid or fluid nature of the lump. In case of a gaseous lump, there could be a very prominent type of resonance as there is gas inside the swelling, but it is not much appreciated in case of a solid or a liquid type of lump. Second is the fluid thrill. You can compare a solid versus a fluid lump. In case of fluid thrill is a test which is performed in case of abdominal swelling especially. Then is the listening part, the auscultation part. The abnormal sounds heard above a blood vessel is called a bruit. It is much appreciated in case of AV fistula. AV fistula are used in chronic kidney disease patient for hemodialysis. You can hear the pulsation, you can hear the bruit throughout systole and diastole. Then is the regional examination. In regional examination, you are going to check the relation to the strongest structures in case of mobility versus fixity. If it is attached to skin, it is easily accessible by the examiner. If it is attached to muscle, first you have to check for any puckering. If there is any puckering of the skin, then you are going to ask the patient to tense the muscle. After tensing the muscle, if there is decrease in the swelling, it could be attached to the superficial fascia of the muscle. But if the swelling disappears as a whole, then it could be due to its attachment to the deeper part of the muscle. If the lump is attached to the bone, then it is very much unlikely to move. If the lump is attached to the vessels or nerves, or it could also be arising from these two structures, then you can only move the lump sideways. You cannot move the lump upwards and downwards. It can only be moved sideways along the longitudinal length of the nerve of the vessel. In case of abdominal lumps, they are mostly freely mobile, as in case of mesentery or omentum. You have to check for regional lymph nodes. In case of upper and lower limbs, you have to palpate the axillary and inguinal lymph nodes. In case of head and neck, you have to palpate the cervical lymph nodes. In case of abdomen, you have to palpate the pre and para aortic lymph nodes. You also have to check for the state of local tissues, especially arteries, nerves, bones and joints, and overlying skin and subcutaneous tissue. For example, in case of breast cancer, there is ulceration in the nearby tissues. Third is the general physical examination. In this test, you can actually detect any significant systemic illness which could be related to the swelling. So it's time for a quick recap. First, you have to ask the questions regarding the lump in the history taking of a lump or an ulcer. First is the duration, then is the first symptom, other symptom, progression, persistence, multiplicity, cause, all you can remember with the mnemonic. Don't forget one proper medical query. Then is the examination, which we have divided into local, regional and general physical examination. First is the local. You are going to inspect, palpate, percuss and auscultate the lump. You are going to look for site, shape, size, surface, color, depth, discharge and edge. You have to feel the lump for tenderness, temperature, its composition in terms of consistency, fluctuation, translucency, reducibility, compressibility and pulsatility. You have to percuss or tap the swelling for fluid thrill and resonance. You have to listen for bruit. In regional examination, you are going to check for mobility or fixity. It could be attached to skin, muscle, bone, vessels or nerves or abdomen. You have to palpate the regional lymph nodes and you have to check the state of the local tissues. Then you have to perform the general physical examination to rule out any significant systemic illness. So hope you like this video. Kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon and don't forget to comment for any suggestion. Thank you.